Going to live dashboard. Say hello. Believe I am live. I'm going to unmute for a second, maybe. See if I can hear myself. Believe I am live. I'm going to unmute. All right, I did hear myself. Look at my microphone and bring up the volume a little bit. All right, so talk about the week. And I'm gonna bring this over, if I can get it over. All right, so here's the battle plan right now. Apex offered a 90% off deal. I took advantage of that with one. I had a couple that were going to reset at $35.50. I got rid of those. I also decided that I only want to have 3 open Apex accounts at a time. That's my corporate decision right now. I added 197. My best 2 accounts, actually 196 was underwater today, and I debated about that one. I said I was going to go hard at that one today. If I got it above 50,000, I was going to keep it, which you can see I did. It's at 50,046, and then 190. 190. I've been EA 190 or Apex 190. I've taken that one from, it was the lowest point, I believe, was 49.2, 49.3 maybe, and I've been able to pull that one out of the woodwork. And once I started seeing the market a little bit better and not moving my stops as much, notice I only had 12 trades in both accounts. The 196, I was trading 6 trades, so 6 contracts, so it only took 2 micro trades on that one to get to 570 there. I was able, 196 was longs and 190 was shorts, and I just didn't catch the a good, well, let's look at the market. Forex Factory was kind of confusing me today. We had an orange report at 10 a.m. and we had the Chicago PMI. I wasn't really worried about that. The core CPI, core PC, the price index, what the hell that is, came out, and there was a big bar at 8:30, and we're going to look at that in a second. Revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment came out at 10, and that really didn't affect the market that much. There was a sell-off early. There I am right there, huh? Let's go back to third property. Let's not get into that horse shit. Politicians are corrupt. Power corrupts. Ultimate power corrupts ultimately, or however that saying goes. We know that, all of Nancy Pelosi's trades were above board, right? Oh, and one thing I wanted to mention today, I was being a little bit cautious because QuantGuard was under system maintenance today, and it never came out of that. So my plan today coming in was to copy trade 190 with 196. When I saw this today, then I knew that I wanted to be pretty cautious trading. One thing I've noticed about the chart setup on the 1 minutes, now you see some horizontal lines in here. What I do is I go to 60 minutes, excuse me, not range, the 60-minute chart, and I went back 9 days. So since I look at trading in 9 days span of time on my spreadsheet, whoops, wrong. So what I've done uh, in the risk category, I made the decision today. Let's edit this so we can see this. 296, 306, 316. So 3R, 3R plus 10, and I think that was 3R. 3R plus 10, 3R, 3R plus 10, and 3R plus 20. I think that's what that was. We'll double check. No, maybe that was this. Did I change this? Hold on. I think it's 6R. I think I widened it out today. But I want to change it back. No, it's 9R. I did let me rephrase this. My 196, I went with a 9R stop loss plus 10 plus 20. And then we'll talk about 3 trades in just a second. But I was aggressively trading 196, knowing that I wanted to pass and get to above 50,000. I knew I needed where I needed to go with it. So I was aggressive, and I also was aggressive in my stop placement. You're going to see in just a second that I had a 3R stop. Now I haven't made up my mind exactly where I want to have my stop, but this is what this is based on right now. If we look at this, see, E7 plus 10 times 3. So 3 contracts, 10, 20, 30, and then plus 306 is the commission cost. So this comes out to $166.13. That would have been the stop today. Max profit 3, 6, and 9 today was 441, and it works to be basically a 2.5 to 1 is what I'm settled in on. That would be ultimate profit on a trade on 3 contracts. So if we would go to 3 trades profit, notice I'm in my sim account right now. This is going to show what I was trading 190 today at. 99 stop loss, 109, 119. That works out to be, on the spreadsheet, correct. Roughly $166 if I would have taken a full loss on all 3, roughly, you know, trying to stay. I did adjust QuantGuard, although QuantGuard, I can't show it. I did adjust QuantGuard yesterday to a $500 loss and $250 loss per trade. I don't believe it was effective today because I didn't lock in settings. So I'm not, let's not talk about that. So it wasn't working today. So I was aggressive, like I said, on the 196 and 190, less aggressive, although what I missed, I'm on 60 minutes. Horizontal lines, what I drew on, what you see here is a 15-minute window from, well, we see it in a minute, but I put in some horizontal lines. I had one here originally, and I had this one. This one always was on the market today. Looking back at the low at 2100 on August 25th. I had a horizontal line here. I moved it to here after we broke through, and then we had our 15-minute range. I haven't made up my mind what the opening range is going to be yet, but I went with 15 minutes today, and this was the high roughly at the 9:30 mark, and this was the low 15 minutes later right here on the fat of the bar. So ideally I could have taken a trade right there at the 9:46 mark. It would have been a beautiful setup. I didn't. Let's go to 190. I had 4 different trades. I took a long to start with and won. Here's my short, and I should have held that one. So this is the short opportunity that I got in today. And then you can see my buybacks there. I should have held. Don't know why I took that at this point in time. I think I had I had this line up here, horizontal line. If this would hold, that was the break point. So I probably had my horizontal line, I believe I had it up here, off of this, if I'm not mistaken. I was looking back at this as being support. It broke through, and then I was good about taking it on. And then I moved it down here after we broke through. I believe that's what I did on the trade session. And then 190, you can see I took a couple longs here at the end of the day, and I grabbed a couple. My first long setup, by the way, this one I took on this horizontal line holding. I took on that trade. And then the only other long outside of that, I was trying for the 15 minutes to go back up to here. So thinking that maybe we'd make a move back up. And ideally I should have stayed short. Right here was my short setup that I found, but I didn't stay in it, didn't have confidence in it. That's been my modus operandi. I haven't had confidence in myself yet. This is a beautiful, I mean, hindsight, you're always a winner. If candy and nuts and all that happy horse shit was working, this would have been a nice setup right at the, I've noticed the 400 bar has been a good point. This is a 400 EMA, has been an excellent point to reverse or to follow on at times. I noticed that it was holding here during the session. So I saw this bar at 8:30. I saw that we might make a run for pivot. That was my long bias to start. But I also, today I said I was going to wait 15 minutes for the open range. And this is the bar that it was kind of crazy the first few minutes. So 9:30, 9:31, 9:32, 9:33, 4, and 5. In opening range with 5 minutes, that's kind of all right. I like the 5 minute, so I might go back to a 5 minute. If I had an opening range of 5 minutes, that would have been the opening range between here and here. Failure here, and then continuation. You see my long setup because I had this set down here at the time. So if we go back to 60 minutes, you can see the level that I was thinking we could hold, right in this level, right here. 23,520. Wait a minute. Right here. 23.6 roughly. It's where I thought that we could find some resistance or support. Obviously it didn't. We took a shot at it there at 23.6. That's where I set up that horizontal line. Now the horizontal lines are basic just guideposts. It doesn't mean that it's going to stop there. It's just that if I see a close above it, I wanted to try it. So that was the first close above that I thought, okay, if we're going to make a run, now's the time. Or was it up here? No. That was the 15 minute. Right? That was the 15 minute high right there. And that's the 5 minute We have to adjust that because 5 minutes was over here. So I might go back to a 5-minute open range is what I'm getting at. Instead of 15 minutes. 15 minutes is a long time to wait. But you need to give it a little bit of time because the market can whipsaw you quickly. Trust me, I know that for a fact. I've been whipsawed many, many times. The best long setup I had was, I took a short, I took 2 opportunities, 196. No, I took this short on, and I had that line sitting in there. Here's the last exit on those contracts. This was my best, actually this was the best trade of the day. So I came short, we tested the 50 bar EMA, and we closed below here. I was good with that, I went with it. I got real close to 3P on this trade right here for my entry point. And the second one got knocked out. 6P was down here, believe it or not. I probably would have, if I got close to here, this is where I would have taken profit on my second and third. And then I took a long setup right here as we crossed above, looking at our CCI indicator. CCI indicator was looking good here as well, below 0. We're in a downtrend already, coming back down. This was the bottom. If we go back to the 60-minute chart, this was my targets down there that I had set up. Here was the low on the, so I thought if we could retest that level, that was where I thought we could go. It's basically where we did go, and then it kind of bottomed out there. So, and this one I got out. Looks like I got contracts. Yeah, this is me. I put 3 and 3, and this trade here got me above 50,000. So that's, I had a stop right in here on that 50 bar. I mean the 9 bar EMA right there. So I thought if we didn't hold this 50 EMA, we could go anywhere. So it reached back here and knocked me out with 3 contracts. But I wanted to make sure once again that I was above 50,000 on 196, or I was going to close that account out because its rebuy is on the 4th of September. And we have Labor Day in the way. So there's a 90% deal at APEX right now, and I mean I could put on 2 extra APEX accounts, but I don't need to. I've been doing okay where I am right now, and learning what I want to do. Actually, I had a target up here on the 100 bar EMA, and then I had targets on 6 and 9 if it would have wanted to make a move quickly. So I thought if we made a quick move, I'd set up my profit targets from here, here, and here. So at that point in time it was up here, here, and here. So I got close on the 3P here, so I was good with that one. And then this one got me at above 50,000 with the 3 contracts that were remaining on that 6 contract trade. So I had 2 trades at 6 contracts each, and notice that I had it set 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. I need to move these stops back to where they should be though. So it was 99 today, 109, 119. So what I did in QuantGuard 2, by the way, yesterday is I removed the 9 contracts and I said, okay, I'm only going to trade 7 at maximum. Now, how could I get to 7? 3, reducing 1, adding 3 more would put me to 5. 3 plus 1 additional add gets me to 6. So I want to make sure that I'm not trading any. Basically, I'm saying to myself, I don't want to trade any more than 6 micros at any given time. 6 micros in the MNQ is plenty. As you can tell, oops, I'll pull this over. This is profits without commission costs. So 2 trades, almost made $600 trading 6 contracts on 6 micros. So, and this was 3 micros and 4 different trades. So 2 trades, 4 trades. I should have done better on the 190. Yeah. Confidence. Building up my confidence. Trusting what my eyes see. Trying not to over trade and over leverage. And QuantGuard's helping me with that. I did close out, I think, 2 different EAs yesterday that I didn't want. They were underwater by a little bit, and I thought, well, I don't want to pay for them. They would have been $35.50 for both of those. They come due on like the 2nd and whatever, and I thought, well, let's get rid of the accounts that aren't doing me any good, and I said, let's hold 196. 196. There was 195 was below 196, and then I had one other. 192 was below, was not doing well either. So I got rid of both of those, and I kept the ones that. And 196 was the. Friday was probably my best trading day of the week. I didn't trade Monday, Tuesday, we're on vacation. So my week was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, kind of, I had a negative day. Thursday was break even, and today I was able to pull out. So I got rid of EA 192 and I got rid of EA 195. I added EA 197. I didn't want to spend $70 on EA. They were underwater anyway, and I didn't want to spend money on them. It would have cost me $35.50 on both of those to keep them. The APEX deal with 90% off, only spending $17.70 made more sense to me. Notice it's at 50,000. I haven't touched it. I did make up my mind that I wanted to have 3 EAs. I figured, well, instead of having 3 underwater, I took 196 and decided that was going to be the one that I wanted to go after. And I guess if I would have paper traded all of them today, I might have got all 3 of those that were negative back to the positive. So that's kind of interesting, because I went after 196 today, and obviously you can see it worked out. 190 is the one that is my lead account right now, and that's the one that I want to take to Profit Town. So yeah, woulda, shoulda, coulda trade right there, right? This one here would have been a good exit point. This one didn't close above. This one did close above. This was the only time it closed above. So looking at hindsight, obviously, right, this could have been an exit on all the contracts right there. And here's the exit later on if I wouldn't have got out there. Look at that beautiful exit right there at 1021. So that whole move starts at roughly 928 and goes to 1020, 1021. Less than an hour of time. And I couldn't find the place that I wanted to go after it short. I did take on a short here, so where it didn't confirm the up, I went short at. So that was a great opportunity for me to hold on. I just didn't have the guts to hold it. And then I was able to just kind of eke out a little bit of a gain off of this low here. Not advisable. This trade should have been my winner right here. This one here was the long setup that I talked about on the 15 minutes. Going back to the 15-minute high. So open in range. Looks like 5-minute opening range is plenty right now. I haven't made up my mind, but that's what I'm thinking at this point. And this opportunity here was because this is up here at the time. So it failing to hold there, and I should have held, and I didn't. So that's on me, not having the guts to hold a trade. And I've got to be able to be better at holding the trades. And that's going to take time for me to, but I am enjoying what I'm seeing. Here is the short opportunity right here. Look right here, we didn't go above. Right here, we didn't go above the zero line. On the CCI, that's why I went short as well. And I should have held. Look, it didn't show it go above the zero line to here. So it was true today. The CCI was true. And a lot of times it's not, but on a trend move, the CCI indicator is true. It will stay true to you. And you can see that here's where I decided to go long on the zero line. And then you can see me exiting out. And then I didn't trade anymore on that one. But like I said, my best trade of the day was catching this short, going down here to the zero line. This was below, see it's negative 107. I went after it and I held. If I would have been I did hold. Wait a minute, that was the other one. So I got out here and I was trailing this one on the gold 9 EMA, and it did take me out right there. It ran right there and then went down and then it went back up. So even if, and this was that line that I showed on the 60-minute chart. So learn. I'm learning. At 58, I'm still learning. It's a lot easier to trade long term, right? And positionally, because you just have your loss set, especially like if you have Robinhood, or then you have a no-brainer like Acorns. It's a lot easier to trade long term. Buy Walmart, sell Walmart, buy Nvidia, sell Nvidia, buy SPHD and the Dow, buy the QQQ, and just dollar cost average, DCAN all the time. Long term, the market's going to go up, you know, all that stuff. Sell the dogs, keep the stuff that's doing well. Buy Berkshire Hathaway, you know, all the stuff that's the easy part. That's always been the easy part of my trading, is the long term stuff. Real estate, when my dad was living, was the easy part. What's been difficult for me is trying to find something that I trust, that I can day trade. And what I've done right now is I simplified everything down. And I've got to get better at trusting myself and the moves. There was moves all week long that I should have taken, but I'm getting more screen time. I've taken some time away from trading, and now I did add back the highway like we talked about before. Go back to one of my other videos, actually go over the settings. This is I got 5 EMAs on the chart right now. So if all things being said right now, I mean, to confirm kind of an uptrend, it needs to get above this 400 bar EMA right now. So it is in a short until this reaches above here. Now in time, as you can see, the 400 EMA comes down. So eventually the day becomes a long, maybe not today, but maybe into next week. So you have your 50 bar, your 100 bar, your 100 bar EMA. Look at that, holds and goes down again. I want to show you this. This is kind of interesting when you're looking at it and you're thinking about it after the fact. And the reason I put the EMAs to start with. Testing the 50 bar EMA and down. Testing the 100 bar EMA and back down. The next test would have to be up here at the 200 bar EMA to come up. And then what will they do at the 200 bar? And then down most likely. And then testing the 400 bar EMA. They'll probably be all around here when they start testing the 200 and the 400 though. So that's why the EMAs are on the charts, because they give you great profit levels if the market's moving a counter trend. And also trend related, it gives you great opportunities to get back into a trade at those levels when they fail. So right here it fails, great opportunity to get in. And there's your short trade that I took on, my best one of the day. And if I was still trading, I stopped trading when I got above 50,000 on 196 right here at 11.12. But I would hope that I would be considering this failure here to take it on again. But we're at 12 now. 11:30 is kind of my stop time. Probably not taking that trade on. But if I was going to take one, I would 11:30 to 12 would have been the last opportunity maybe I'll look at. Anyway, long story short, I am seeing the market a little bit better as time goes on. I do look at the 1 minute. I'll go and look at the range bars occasionally to see what that's looking at. I've settled in on the 60 range off the 1 minute chart. I will go and look at 60 minute. I'll look at the 10 minute and the 15 minute. And I'll look at the 5 occasionally as well. Now what I'm looking for is wave patterns, and I didn't draw them on the charts today, but you can see the waves here, right? 0, 1, 2, you can see that trade right in there. And the 5 minute is showing just a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 hasn't confirmed itself yet. So this might be all she wrote as far as the 5 minutes go on the wave patterns. I was kind of settled in on 5 minute being, looking at 5 minute on the wave pattern during the day. Nothing set in stone right now, but what I do like right now is I like my CCI indicator. I was trained on this with Joe Rossett Trading Educators. So I'm confident with this indicator more than any of the others on the charts. I know how to use it for the most part. Watching the 0 line on a trend, watching the 100 line on an uptrend. So we see with this 100 line where I saw some opportunity to get long. That's kind of my thought process at that point. I did attempt. No, that was a short. There was the 100 crossing over the 100 on the long. Both of them. That's my last exit. I only had 2 trades, that's right. My short on the 0 and my long on the 100 because the trend was down. So trend down, 0 is okay to take on a a continuation move. And then you want proof that the market has the ability to hold. And you can see the 0 line on the CCI up this point. And my first attempt comes in right in there. And my one and only attempt comes in right in here. Our highways above, we're tilting up. Everything is looking good right now. So that's the reason why I took that long setup on the 196. My best trade once again was right there. So I think I've talked all I want to talk today. Let me see where I am on minute related here. I tried to keep it. How long have we been talking? I think it's enough. 35 minutes. We're good. Let's call it here. So just learning. I catch myself in Nutty Bar's room occasionally. I try not to listen in. I'll be in it and muted when I'm trading, and I keep it off to the side. And then when I'm done on my trading day, I like to sitting there. He did a 18-hour stream yesterday, which was kind of cool. I'm just trying to make Mr. Squirrel after a nut right now, hoping that all my experience of my 58 years, Jesus, I should say that, cheese and biscuits, cheese and crickets, cheese and crackers. God, I've been day trading too long. But it's one of the only things that I know what I'm doing. I mean, I guess I'm a decent salesperson, but I don't like sales. Never have. Although I'm good at it. This is where my passion lies, right here in trading. As my confidence builds, I hope that I can grow. So what's the goal right now? And we'll leave it this. So the goal right now is to take these EAs to a PA. Convert one PA over, convert an EA to PA, and keep the other just sitting there in reserve waiting. $85 resets on some of them, or lifetime fees. So get paid on a PA, add another EA to PA with 2 and 3, get to the point where I'm pulling out. My first time goal is 2, then 4, then 6 being pulled out. And getting to the point before the end of the year that I am pulling money away from Apex. I'm kind of have that time frame of testing through August into September and October, and September, October, November, into December, see what I do. Historically, that's my best trading period of time that I've had, is the fall season. And getting done around the second week of December, on the 13th to the 16th usually is when I get done, take a month off, and then get going into the next year. That's my overall goal. Turn some of these EAs to PAs, get paid, and grow to being able to trade hopefully 5 PAs and then to 10 PAs. I don't think I ever want to get to 20. 10 seems to be a sweet spot that I'd love to be at. I'd like to get there first to see what I do, but as time moves on, continuing, setting up, there's a lot of money to be made just trading 3 MNQs. A lot of money to be made on 6 too. So I'm settling in between 3 and 6. 6 would get to a $500 loss a lot quicker, right? Or a $250 loss per contracts. So that would get there real quick on the 3R, and it would liquidate it. So to give me 2 attempts at 6 contracts right now, roughly. 3 contracts gets me roughly 3 attempts to stay above $500 or $250 loss between trades. $500 hard stop, knock me out. That's what I'm settling in right now in Quant Guard. $500 hits that point plus commission costs, knock me out. $250, I'm wrong, get me out. So that's where I'm settling at this point in time. I didn't like 600 and 300. It takes too long to get back that. So that extra 100, I know I can get 500 or 600 back. I know I can get that back as time, and I don't do something stupid. Thursday was a stupid day. Friday was a good day. I saw the market really well today, although I didn't catch nearly as much of that short I wished I could have caught. So that'll do it. That's Dave Night. Today, once again, was Friday, August 29th. We're talking about the week from the 25th to 29th. Once again, I only trade 3 days. I was on vacation for a couple days with my wife. Went up to our camp for a weekend getaway before football season starts. My youngest son is doing well. He's working in with the ones at H-back, fullback, glorified fullback. He's a powerhouse. I look forward to watching him play. Looks like he's going to make the travel team. Knock on wood when I say that. And looking forward, like he's got 3 more years of football, and then I guess Dad here is done watching his kids play at this point. No, granted injuries, or he wants to continue to play. My oldest son graduated in May, and he's done. I'd like to see him coach someday, day too, though. He'd be an excellent offensive line coach. I'd like to see both my kids coach, hopefully someday. And then I'd like to see them have grandchildren, and go from there. Boys, girls, don't matter. I don't think my youngest son says he doesn't want to have kids, but who knows? Anyway, let's call it. It's Dave Knight from Dave Knight Trading, TradeCrazy.com. I still own that with a Y. You see in my signature, I'll write that Trade Crazy. Trade Craze is my nickname that I picked up a long time ago. I don't know why, but I put a Y on the end now and just so Trade Crazy. So don't trade crazy, in other words, right? We'll see you on the next video I put together. I'll talk to you, I guess, a week from today. Friday. We'll be in September then. We'll talk next week. God bless. Take care. I'll see you next video I put together. Bye for now. Let's wait a couple seconds to make sure my bye for now says bye for now.